So I got a question for you, bro. If you're watching this video, I imagine that you've seen other dating advice videos on YouTube, and I'm curious, what percentage of dating coaches or dating advice YouTubers have a life that you would also want to be living? Because, man, if I'm being honest, probably 2/3 of the guys making these type of videos, so like 67% of these guys, either they don't even show the girl or girls that they're dating in their videos, so it's kind of just like, trust me, bro, it works. Or some of them, they just look, I'm not hating on their looks, but they almost just look unhealthy and not well and not financially doing well. And because I've been in this space for about 10 years or so, which is wild to think, I've met a lot of these guys offline, and some of them for sure, they're killing it. Their girl is stunning. But for some of them, man, I'm not, like the girl they were with was kind of rough without hating, and I'm not sure how these guys are confidently looking into a camera and giving dating advice. And the funny thing is, several of these guys have made hit piece videos on me where they're reacting to an approach I did on camera 10 years ago, and they're like micro analyzing, oh my God, I can't believe he said that to the girl, bro.
C++, you do programming?
I'm trying to.
All right, I used to do a lot of SQL work.
And then you can tell he's like very unsure of himself, very nervous. He can't even maintain eye contact.
So I guess the real question is, do you want to learn game as a magic trick so you can charm a random girl on the street and maybe walk away with a fake phone number? Or do you want to learn game so you can become the type of guy that naturally attracts a sexy ride or die girl in his life who's in it for the long term? Because if you want to learn the first thing and you want to be a street magician, well, honestly, I'm not the guy for you, bro. And look, if you're single right now, the 4 principles of game we're going to take a look at in this video, they're going to be extremely effective for meeting and attracting more women. But if you've already got a girl, it might even be even more important. Like, I'm a married man, been with Julia for almost 10 years, and I'm still using game. Take a look at that, bro. Now, to illustrate each of these principles of game, I'm gonna tell you a story from various phases of my life. From back when I was a complete simp, to when I had some dating success, to when I had my first girlfriend, and to when I got married. So buckle up and let's get it. So look, the fact is that I was a complete simp growing up. I had zero success with women. The only time I would talk to girls would be if I was drunk at a frat party, or if a friend of a friend told me that this girl liked me, which probably only happened like one time in my life in high school. And even then, I fumbled it and I fucked it up. The only time I was able to start seeing progress was when I went all the way the fuck in. It didn't take some small change. If you're still thinking like, no, I'll just be ready when the right opportunity comes and then I'll go for that girl. It's not happening, bro. Because when I went all in, the way I did it was, I actually met 3 other guys living in Boston at the time on this pickup artist forum, which is super cringy, I know, but then we would meet up once or twice a week in downtown Boston. We'd go approach like 10, 20, 30 girls each, and we weren't getting any results. We were having fun with it, bro. We were using stupid pickup lines like, I'd go up to a group of girls and say, hey, which one of you makes the most money? Oh, you? It's because I'm looking for a sugar mama. Bruh. It's not an effective line, but we were amusing ourselves. We were having fun with it. And that's what changed me from being the hesitant type of guy to being the type of guy who fucking goes for the opportunity. And that is the first principle of game, because if you don't go for the opportunity, you will never meet a girl. It's always gonna be on the man. It's always gonna be on you, bro. And it's even more important once you have a girl. That's what I realized. By being the type of guy who now goes for opportunities in other areas of my life, dating was like my gateway drug to self-improvement. You know, I went for it when I started this YouTube channel. I went for it when I started my clothing brand Edge, when we moved from Boston to Austin over to Spain. By being the guy in the relationship who goes for it, it creates a strong masculine-feminine dynamic where you're like the hunter-gatherer and she's your support system. And that makes it easy for the girls to keep chasing you and pursuing you over time. Now that leads me to the second principle of game, which is don't ever flinch. Look, I probably burned through approaching 200, 300 girls without even getting a single date. But eventually I started to calibrate my approach, and I'd actually start asking the girl, hey, you seem like a cool girl, you wanna hang out sometime? And then I started getting dates. But even then, well, I started getting phone numbers, let's be honest. And I probably burned through my first 20 or 30 phone numbers of these really hot girls just because I was so overly eager to hang out with them. So when they would flake on me and be like, hey, I actually can't do tonight, something came up, I would immediately be like, oh, that's all good. What about tomorrow night? And of course, I would chase them right away. Or I'd have a good first date with the girl. I'd be so excited to see her for a second date, and I'd immediately be trying to set it up. And I was always chasing. And after countless missed opportunities, I finally learned my lesson that I have to have red lines for myself. And when a girl tries and crosses those red lines, I cannot fucking flinch. I have to hold the line. So the first date that I had scheduled with Julia, who's my wife now, was on a Sunday. And on Saturday, she texted me and said, hey, something came up. I can't make it tomorrow. By this point, I knew I will not chase. If a girl flakes on a date, it is now on her to schedule the date after this. So I texted her back and said, no worries. Let me know when you want to hang out. I put the phone back. I did not text her again. And of course, 3 days later, I got a message that said, hey, can you hang out this Thursday or Friday? I want to see you. If you always flinch and you give in and you chase when girls test you, you'll never be that type of guy. Sure, if a girl's really desperate, she'll settle for you, but any girl who has options is immediately going to identify this guy's desperate, and that's unattractive. And now I'm moving on. And of course, once you're in a relationship, having these red lines is even more important, or your girl's never going to respect you. She's going to walk all over you. And that being said, this doesn't mean to be a hardo and to create a big deal and never back down over anything. Sometimes in relationships, man, you realize, hey, it seems like this thing is a lot more important to her than it is to me. So I can concede this in a masculine way. Like Julia likes getting to the airport 3 hours before the flight because she gets anxious, whereas I prefer to stroll and be the last guy on the plane, and it drives her crazy. And I realize, look, this is more important for her. So now I just say, hey, look, I understand this is important for you. We can get there early. It's all good. It's not weak if you do it like that. Now, there's going to be other scenarios where there is a true red line, and if you back down and you concede, well, now you're going to allow your relationship to evolve into something you don't want, and your girl doesn't respect you. So, for example, Julia and I, when we were getting ready to have our baby, beautiful Sophia we got now, there was a moment when she was saying, you know, I'm going to need your help changing diapers. I know it's not going to be a 50-50 relationship, but you got to, pitch in and help out. And I said, look, the relationship dynamic we have is that I'm running these businesses and you're going to be in charge of the baby. And we've talked about this before. And it's not that I'll never change a diaper. Of course, I'll help you when you need it. But I will not be counted on and expected to have some daily diaper changing number, as an example. And of course, she was a bit upset when I told her this. Whenever you hold a red line, your girl's going to be a little bit upset. But a few days later, she accepted it and we moved on. It's about communicating directly and calmly in these situations. Now look, another critical part of having high-level game, and this is whether you like it or not, but it's your looks. Your looks matter. And I know for myself, something that really helped me improve my confidence in my looks was when I got my skin handled. Because I used to have really bad acne, and that's why I decided to partner with Tiege Hanley to be the sponsor of today's video. Tiege Hanley is basically the best skincare system out there for men because, well, like they say, it's uncomplicated. It's simple and it actually works. I'd recommend you get started with their level 1 system, which comes with all of the most effective products you need to see the fastest results. So you're gonna get a daily face wash, a twice per week exfoliating scrub, a morning moisturizer with sun protection that's crucial to protect your sun against the skin and prevent against wrinkles, and also a PM moisturizer to use the night before bed. And every box comes with one of these little instruction cards, which is clutch because it tells you exactly how much, when, and in what order to use each product so you can't mess it up. I'm 35 now, and I'm starting to see a lot of guys my age with skin that's already deteriorating. So looking back, honestly, I wish I implemented a skincare routine even earlier. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're hooking us up with a crazy deal. If you click that first link in description, you're gonna get 40% off your first box of Tiege Hanley. Plus, they're gonna throw in a gift that's worth $20 on its own. And as a Tiege Hanley member, you're gonna get 20% off after that for life. Truth is, you can't afford to put off your skincare any longer. Just click that first link in description to get started with Tiege Hanley. You won't regret it. Now, the third principle of game, you don't wanna be a fake winner. Also, shout out to this coffee. You can see it's still maintaining the separation there. That's how you know it's legit, man. Even Starbucks doesn't maintain that separation like that. Now, let's talk about Oblivion, which is maybe the greatest video game of all time. I probably put 200 hours into that game. I I was like the stealth character. I would dual wield swords and chop people up, bow and arrow from the shadows, you know what I'm saying? And when I finally beat that game, it was like this big moment for me. Like, fuck yeah, bro, I beat the game. It's time to move on to a different game, right? And it's funny because I had that same sensation in my life when I got my first girlfriend, and I got my second girlfriend too. Especially if you're someone who has not had that much female attention and affection most of your life, and then all of a sudden there's a girl who's down not just to go on a date with you, but to keep seeing you and commit to you. It's like, fuck yeah, man, I can finally chill and stop pushing myself. I can come home after working hard all week and just have some sex and relax, and it's all good, man. And it's not like I thought I was being a lazy piece of shit, because I was still pushing myself with self-improvement. With my second girlfriend, that's when I started making money online. I launched these ebooks on Amazon. I started making some bread, bro. So I felt like I was still this strong, masculine guy. But even though I was still playing the game of life, I had stopped playing the game of dating. And it started to take a toll on the relationship. Because think about it, if you're not putting any effort in romantically, and you're not scheduling the dates, and you're not making decisions for you and your girl, well, that means that now she's got to be the one who schedules the dates and finds the reservations and makes the plans. And this starts to put her in her masculine energy. And guess what? She'll go into that masculine energy, especially in 2025. She might feel like that's what she should do, but then it's going to start to hurt the underlying fabric of the relationship. And it's not going to have that strong masculine feminine polarity. And then the sexual charge is going to suffer. And then you're going to notice you guys are bickering about small things, because no longer is she really looking at you as the leader anymore, even if you're grinding and pushing yourself in other parts of your life. The correct way to look at it once you get a girlfriend is not that you beat the game, it's that you beat level 3 of the game. And guess what? There's a whole lot more levels. Getting a girl to go on a few dates with you and to be your girlfriend, that's the easy part. Building a healthy, long-term relationship and leading that and crafting that forward, that's fucking hard work. Principle of game number 4, never accept defeat. So I can remember after I got married, everyone would ask me the same question. They'd be like, bro, what's different, man? What's changed now that you're married? And for the first days and weeks, I'd be like, nothing's changed. Like, we're married now, but it's still the same routine, same shit. But then after a few months, I started to notice that the subconscious fabric of the relationship was framed differently now, because we've committed to each other for life. And that kind of means that whether things go well for us or go bad for us, we got to stay together. Obviously in 2025, I think some people don't look at marriage like that. That's another problem for another video. But I think this is why so many married guys, they accept defeat and they start to look at the relationship as this thing that's like outside of their control. And I guess I'll just, give up on it and let it get worse over time, bro. The same way we can have self-improvement, you gotta realize we can have us improvement. We can have relationship improvement, but no one takes this mindset and applies it to relationships. The same way you can focus on leveling up yourself or leveling up a business, it is possible to apply that same mindset to a relationship and to craft it into what you want it to be over time. This is the only way to guarantee that your relationship does not just get worse and worse and worse over time, like happens with 95% of relationships. The key is that when you identify a problem in the relationship, you got to take full responsibility for it. You can't put the blame on your girl, even subconsciously in your mind. So let's take the example of the sex starts to feel a bit boring and repetitive, which happens with most couples after 1 or 2 years. Well, you can't be like, man, I just wish my girl would read my mind and she would just do some freaky shit without me asking about it. Now, that's weak, man. What can you do? Well, one option is that you just deal with it without even talking to her. If you guys always have the same routine where you hook up just before you kiss her goodnight to sleep 1 time per week, well, guess what? Maybe on Saturday she's cleaning up the kitchen and you just walk in there, pick her up, put her ass on the counter, start making out with her, and then carry her to the bedroom. How would she react to that? Have you tried that yet, bro? Now, you also could talk to her about it, and it's good to understand how to have these type of conversations. The main mind frame is I'm going to be direct and I'm going to be calm, and I'm not going to put any blame on her. So you can say, hey, babe, something I want to talk to you about. So I feel that lately we've just gotten into a routine with our hookups, and I know we could spice it up, and it's probably my fault, but I know we could spice it up and take it to a whole nother level. So, here's what I was thinking. You could suggest a couple suggestions, like instead of just doing it at night before bed every time, I was thinking, and this is something Julie and I do, too much information maybe, but When we get back home from the gym together, you know, when our blood's flowing and the energy is high, the endorphins are rushing, let's try and hook up then a little. Let's do it then a little bit more. I see how she reacts. Because if you're not presenting it as a problem and wanting her to solve it, but you're presenting it as a problem and also suggesting a plan, women tend to be very receptive to that leadership. And if this is done correctly over time, well, guess what? Now, instead of your relationship getting worse and worse over time, by definition, you're going to continue to optimize different parts of it, and it's going to get better and better and better. And before I catch some of y'all asses in the comments saying, this sounds like a lot of work, man. Women are so much work. It's not worth it. I just not date women. Bro, think about this. All of the principles of game that we just talked about that will help you cultivate the best dating life possible, both in the early stages and once you have a girlfriend or wife, all of these same principles apply to every game in life. If you want to be a boss and make big money and run your own company, well, guess what? You're going to have employees and business partners, and sometimes there's going to be a situation that's not ideal. And if you can't man up and have a calm, direct, confident conversation, well, guess what? Your business is going to deteriorate. Your relationships in life are going to deteriorate. The game of dating is really just another avenue to improve and grow, the same as anything else in life. So if you've been hiding from this part of your life, you've been making excuses, you've been putting the blame on the females and the feminists, well, bro, look, you can go back to watching the videos where you get a couple quick tips to fucking twirl her around on the street and slap her ass and get the phone number. I don't think anyone's telling you just to slap the ass on the street. But you get the point, man. Do you want to deal with the fundamental problems and the fundamental levers that help you reach success in life? Or do you just want a quick Band-Aid solution? Because if you've been looking for the second thing, well, your situation is not going to improve. And you're going to be wasting your time, and you're going to be more frustrated. The sooner that I was able in every part of my life to put in the work, follow the deeper principles, the sooner I got to where I wanted to be. That all being said, if you're serious about being the strongest leader possible in your relationship, then you need to watch this video next. This video is 10 years of brutally honest relationship advice for men. That's some of the hardest lessons I've learned in the last 10 years in my relationship. Click there to watch that now. If you're new to the channel, click down there to subscribe, as I release 2 new videos every single week and you don't want to miss them. I'll talk to you in the next video. Stay beastly.